Okay, so welcome to Brackenshield 2020 garden tour. Okay, we do one of these tours every 15 or 20 years. The last time we did it was for the ladies from Rockcliffe Garden Club.
That's right. Hi Johnny, hi Mandy.
They particularly like the lemonade and cookies. I don't know about the gardens. So this is the first garden. This garden was originally designed by Eva Schmidt from Artistic Landscape, but since then all of the plant material has suffered ill fates, so it's now a Jordan design. These guys here are on loan from Marcy, and those lights were made by a mechanical engineer who left engineering and got into this in Kingston. Not only does he make the lights like that, he also makes the glass and stains it with chemicals. The guy is amazing. This garden was designed by the owner of White House Perennials, Suzanne Patry. All you do is go there and say, it looks like this, it gets this sun exposure, and she does this in like 5 minutes. Addition we did about 2 years ago because everything here was weeds. We could not do anything with it, it was just weeds. So we decided it's going to be rock. So we got some guys in here, and this is red and black granite from Sudbury, Ontario. And they did that all the way around, and now we don't have any weeds. Yeah. This is the Tom Hargreaves Memorial Garden. Those are trilliums that John brought many years ago, and we planted them there. They've all multiplied. Right now they're looking like that because we've had no water, and there's no water in those gardens, that garden. This is the front daylily garden with a few hostas. These are
Happy Returns.
Happy Returns. And this is Peggy's favorite hosta, Regal Splendor. Over there is one of my favorite. It's called Solar Flare. You see that ditch that goes through there? That was dug after we had a big flood. And while it was being dug, we had a friend who came here. Out here he stood and he said, Peter, this is a perfect opportunity for a garden. This friend was Henry Darvall, who was a master gardener. He and his wife taught me everything I know about gardening over the years. But I thought he meant that little piece down there. He said, no, 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 Peter. From here to around the corner, it's 100 feet. Henry had a few mottos.
Yes, he did.
Henry was known as the Ashton Village curmudgeon.
That's right, but he was a sweetheart.
He was anything but a curmudgeon. He was a merchant seaman, mechanical engineer, and master gardener who worked with Ed Lawrence at the Governor General's greenhouses. And the other rule he had was clumping. Clumping.
You never put one of this or one of that.
So you see clumps. Yeah. And groups of 3, 5, 7, odd numbers. Groups, clumps. So you'll see that implemented in all of our gardens. These look like they're plastic, but they're not. They start like that, and they stay like that until the first frost. These are begonias. This is a pretty one. This is June. Here's one Johnny would like. This one's name is Captain Kirk. This is our original daylily garden. The first daylilies and the first actual plants that we brought into the property, I don't know how many, 20 plus years ago. And it was Henry Darvall who introduced us to White House Perennials. He built that Tutor, it's called, over there. And this I built for some neighbors' kids who were getting married. They needed a place to take pictures. So I built this for them to get all their wedding pictures. This is another memorial garden, a very good friend of ours and John's, Sheila Stafford, who said, just build me a garden. And so we did. These are rhododendrons they put in this year. and a special hosta. He bloomed crazy. This is the fastest growing hardwood tree on the planet, Princess. That growth started in the middle of June. So less than a month. It'll be 15, 20 feet tall by the end of the summer from scratch. This big guy is a Baptisia. These two and this one were planted at the same time, and I cannot describe how they were so different. Ed Lawrence, when he came here, said, "I have never seen a Baptisia that big before," and he's seen a lot of them. I believe John and Manjeet love daisies. These are Shasta daisies. And this little guy down there is Miss Pennyworth. This is Hippie, and he's carved out of stone that came from Zimbabwe by a Zimbabwean artist who works at a Westport, where he also teaches stone carving. So he imports that stone from Zimbabwe. This garden was designed by Eva Schmidt as well, and they planted it all up, and it's the way she did it. That thing was like a little tiny shrub about 4 feet tall when it was put in there. That's a yellow magnolia. And this is Peggy's other magnolia. This is Maggie, and that's Dottie.
And over here, that particular daylily is called Divine Connection. And we bought it from White House Perennials for our 40th anniversary. We used to buy a daylily every year for our anniversary. We can't anymore because we have nowhere to put them, but that's our favorite.
Here we have Peony Row, and these peonies have a very serious history. They came from a friend of ours' farm. These parent plants were over 200 years old when we got them, and peonies are the national flower of China. So when the Chinese embassy heard about these peonies growing at that farm out there, out they came with their whole entourage to see them.
That was Doug and Dorothy.
Oh, yeah, we missed one thing, the pot.
Oh, we can get that out.
Yeah.
What about out here?
This was supposed to be a bog garden, but it didn't work out. Some years ago, I built a friend's new deck, and I took all the 2x4s that were on the old deck and said, we ought to do something with those. I don't know what, but they're the walls of this garden. This is called Rogersia. And the pump came from Doug and Dorothy's farm as well. We found it under a pile of rubble in the barn. And this year it got a new pump handle and a paint job. This is my favorite garden. All big monster hostas. This guy is called the Guardian, and he was carved by an artist in Ottawa who was really into, this is limestone, I guess. But there's lots of that around here.
Yeah.
Here we have Sam Adams. He's made up all of farm implement pieces. And he's the result of a getaway trip to Boston one weekend. And Sam Adams is the Boston beer that's made there. This is the mini hosta garden. This was given to us by Maya. And I'm told that she bought that with her own money that she saved up.
Years ago when she was quite a bit younger.
Yeah. That was quite a privilege. And this piece of art was made by Isla. And these are all miniature hostas. This is our house mascot, the dragonfly. We call them all Evinrudes. There's a history behind that too. And this and the one on top of that tree over there were made by a couple of Ottawa metalworkers. And Marcy bought me that on Father's Day at Kiwi Gardens in Perth. This pond was built when our neighbors installed their geothermal system. All these big stones came from their backyard. Pat Cavanaugh, our go-to backhoe guy, brought them all over and arranged them all just like that. He was just amazing. Inside the liner is a piece of culvert from the old Goulburn Township scrapyard, which I took over to Dave Morley to get cut to size.
Dave Morley is a piece of history out here.
Yeah. And like I said, that's Jack and Vera Duckworth. Ducks I bought for my mom and dad when I was in grade 2 in Saint-Hubert, Quebec.
We'll tell about Coronation Street.
Oh, and Jack and Vera Duckworth are two of the very original personalities on Coronation Street. They're not there anymore. That's Bambi. Here's more of what we call the Black Sea. And this is Peggy's path across the Black Sea. See, she's walking on water right now, see? This piece of art was made for us by our neighbor, who also gave me my first COVID haircut today.
Yay, Sheila.
She's an amazing glass artist. I worked with her for quite a while to get her kiln set up and program it and all that sort of stuff. She made that for Peggy. This big tree has quite a history. I don't remember exactly what the wedding was. It was a wedding that John and Manjeet went to 20 years ago or more. It was about this high. It's one of the favors that was left on the table. They brought it here. We put it there. And there's the result. I was coming out here one day to do something, I don't know what. I kept hitting rock. So I thought, well, I'll just have a little look and see what's there. This was covered with about 4 inches of stuff, all of this. It's the original riverbed when the Champlain Sea receded. This is the original riverbed. It goes all through there and out, and it's the one which would have drained the water out across the driveway so that we wouldn't have gotten flooded, except when they put the driveway and they blocked it. But this is the original riverbed, just the way you see it. This wheelbarrow, Peggy and Manjeet brought to me, I don't know, long time ago. The wheel is original.
The rest of it fell apart.
So I rebuilt it, but nevertheless. This was also given to us by Doug and Dorothy Baird. They found it in the middle of their field on a farm down Fernbank Road. Normally these things were all melted down during the war to make artillery or guns, but this one survived. And there's a sister pot in the Merrickville Museum.
Hope you enjoyed the garden tour, guys. We love you lots.
Take care.
Johnny and Manjeet. Bye-bye.